Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kenz and this is Planalyzer, and today we are going to be talking about my 2026 planner lineup. Well, we're talking about it because I don't have anything to show you. So yeah, and my thoughts and how I, came up with my 2026 lineup. So for some background, if you've never watched me before, this is my first year actually planning slash journaling, and it's been a roller coaster. I bought a lot of planners. Every time I just found one thing I was unhappy with, I bought more planners, more planners. So this isn't all of it. I threw out some, but this is what I have currently in my lineup. So I had the Hobonichi Cousin. That's the first one I started off with, and a Hobonichi Weeks. And I loved the Hobonichi Cousin. I hated the Hobonichi Weeks. I don't know what it was about that planner, but I hated it. It was nice to decorate, but when it came to functionality, it was just too small. So I just hated that planner. The Hobonichi Cousin I absolutely loved. However, I was not keeping up with the daily pages. And for me, if I can't keep up with the daily pages, yeah, so I kept skipping a day, and then it just started to feel like a job, and it was just stressing me out. So I was like, yeah, this planner's not gonna work for me. So I did more research, and I found the Sterling Ink A5 with the blank, and I absolutely adore that planner. But however, I did throw that one out because I messed it up, and I messed it up. There's not much to it. I messed it up, so I had to throw it out. And in June I was gonna buy another planner, which was a paper test design. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I also had the Hemlock and Oak Weekly Minimalist, which worked very nice. I liked it. It made me figure out what I like when it comes to school planners and stuff like that. But yeah, so we're gonna take a dive into my 2026 thoughts and stuff. So this is my current planner lineup. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planners. That's an absolute lie. Where's my B6? Okay, 6. So I have 6. Ooh, the shine, the flashlight, the flash. So I have 6 planners in this lineup, and I'm not using all 6 right now, but it's because of this, it made me figure out, and then I was gonna buy the Aura Estelle, and I'm like, and I caught myself, and I was like, what the hell am I doing? So in June, I put myself on a planner ban. I did not allow myself to buy any more planners. It's been going good. We're in August now. I haven't bought any other planners, and I've just been working with what I've got, and it's made me realize what I like, what I don't like. So since June up till now, I've just been trying out different planners and planning for 2026 of what I like and what I don't like. So I know that I don't like rings for sure. I did not buy this. I've been had this, but I know for sure I don't like rings. I don't like. I don't know if this counts as buying a planner, because I did buy a few stuff like these. The rings, the HP Mini, I like it, but it's too small for my liking. Maybe if it was a bigger one, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this is working for me. I haven't even tried it yet. I decorated it, but I haven't tried it yet. It's pretty, but yeah. So let's jump into the video of why we're all here. So this is an Erin Condren planner that I used to use for school, but I stopped using it because it was working for me. The paper, however, is very nice, very thick. So we're gonna use this paper to plan, to do. I want to do the graph. I don't know what it's called. So the layout where you do 2026 in the middle, and then eek, yikes. Let's just do the clouds. Okay, that works. So when I was thinking about my planner lineups, the first things I thought about was, what do I want? So for me, the first thing I thought about was, I want somewhere I could put my schoolwork, and I could time block, which I have right now. And so for right now, I'm gonna be going back and forth. So for right now, for my schoolwork, for my time blocking, I have this Take a Note Slim Weekly, and I just use it to block out the times where I'm busiest, not busiest, but I have something going on that I can't move. So, for example, this is next week. So, I have English class right here. I have work right here. I have accounting. I have school. I have work. I have work, dentist work. So it's just the stuff that's going to happen that I can't really necessarily move. I just need to see what's happening that week. Here's another time, like I know I was free Wednesdays. I know I'm free Sunday. It just helps me see what times I'm free where I can do my schoolwork. And I'm a visual, so doing this really helps me. So I just needed somewhere I could continue this, because if I don't have this, I get really overwhelmed. And then for school, I was using the, I don't know where it's at right now. I literally looked at it not too long ago, but I just cleaned my desk, so I don't know where I put it. But I had a N1 as well, an N1 Sterling Ink monthly booklet that I had in here, and I was using the booklet for school, but the TN size was way too small for me having multiple classes. So I decided to use the Take a Note, because I had this planner laying here. So where's the monthly section? I had this planner laying here, so I was like, let me just ignore this. This is ugly, I know. So this is just like the monthly section of what's going on right now. I have my school. I did my color code here. This is just all I need for school, which is working beautifully. The only complaint I have about like this is I wish, I'm gonna do a color code of here, but it's not October yet, which is just gonna be the same color coding system. It's not October yet, so I don't gotta do it. So this is beautiful. The only complaint I had was when I'm taking 6 classes this semester, so for reference, I don't like school planners. I'm not the biggest fan of school planners. I find it to be a whole bunch of junk in it. It's just not necessary for the stuff. Like, I don't use what's in there. I only need the monthlies really for school. So school planners, I don't like it. This is a school planner, and as you can see, it's empty. I didn't use it. So I just need the monthlies for school. That's all I need for school. Monthly, and then the weekly section, I just need an area to time block. That's it. And I can't use the Take a Note to time block because I don't get the full week. I want to see the full week on the 2 pages. Not like, oh, this is 1 week here, and then here's the other week. I don't want it like that where I have to flip back and forth to see what days I'm like free. So all I needed for school, all I needed was a monthly and a weekly section. And then I just needed a weekly section. A weekly vertical. Preferably one with a 24-hour timeline, but I'm okay with 12 hours. Yeah, so, but it cannot be too small. So it can't be too small. So it has to be big enough. The weekly vertical size, I don't care what size it is, but it has to be big enough for my monthlies. So I wanted everything in one book when it came to school and time blocking, because I find it quite annoying, honestly, to have 2 separate I find it honestly annoying to have 2 separate books for it. So that's why I had the TN with this, and it was like binded in here too, so it was just easy to, but I don't know, with 2 separate books I just find it very annoying. And I realized I don't pick up one book enough, and it's just like I don't reference this enough when I'm like doing it, and then I don't reference that enough. So it's just, I need it in one book. So for school, I was like, okay, maybe I could get a Sterling Ink. The issue I had with Sterling Ink planners is, for me, all these empty pages in the back, I was like, I could get a compact, but for all the empty pages in the back, I don't use it. So for me, it was just like, I don't want it. But lo and behold, she came out with the core planner, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. So the Sterling Ink core planner, and it has a thick enough page because I keep like going back and forth because I wanted to start color coding like work and school. And the pens that I was using in this paper, it does do this. And it's not that it's like a bad thing because it's not really a bad bleed through, but I did not want it to do that. So, and she did it in Cosmo Air paper, I believe. And she did a comparison because this is TRP paper and it's quite shitty. Even my favorite pen, it's like having this on it. So I just didn't like that. So I was like, I could continue in this, but I was like, yeah, I really don't like this. And it has a 24-hour timeline, which doesn't bother me. It doesn't have a 24-hour, a 5 to 12 timeline, which doesn't bother me. It's just that sometimes I do work after 12, but technically my schedule shift is 4 to 12. So I was like, if anything, I could expand it down. So the planner I decided on for school was the Sterling Ink. So the planner I decided for school was the Sterling Ink A5 core. So the issue though, well, it's not really an issue, but when I was thinking about it, I'm like, even though I want the Sterling Ink A5 core, which is really nice, the issue I have is the monthlies not being big enough. For example, this semester I'm taking 6 classes. So far, I've only written in 3 classes because the other ones, the syllabus hasn't opened up yet. So, for example, this one, I went in to go write my other class stuff. It does not fit. Only 4. I have to do spaces as we should. I can't do it like, I can't do another one here because it's just distracting to me when they're all jumbled up like that. So I like it very apart. So I was like, maybe I could, but that wasn't working for me. So I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4. This only fits 4. So I was like, it's probably the same with the Sterling Ink A5 planner because I know it's probably going to be the same specs if it's, a Sterling Ink A5 core, and this is an A5 size. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Same issue, 4. So I was like, what other sizes are there? The A5 core though only comes in A5 and B6. So it's obvious I couldn't do the B6. So I was like, maybe I could get a monthly booklet, which for Sterling Ink, I have this. This is my LSAT planner that I'm using. So let's go to the monthly section. Okay. So this is the B5. I'm using it currently to study for my LSAT. It's the best book you need. If you're studying for your MCAT, your whatever exam, this planner, because it has the blank pages, you could do your notes, and then it has the weekly sections, you could plan out what you need to do, and then the monthly, you just block off what you do. It works perfectly for me. I even set up the front, and I do a little sticker, and I even set up the front with, so when I take my first LSAT, I'm going to take the practice test soon, the first one soon, but when I take my first LSAT, I have a graph, I have the road to 175, I have the chart, this planner is just perfect for how I do things in school. So I'm like, if I get the B5 booklet, it's going to be 1, I could write up here. I'm okay with writing up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 5 slots. What if I write down here, 3, 4. If I write here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 boxes, 6 boxes. So I was like, oh, the B5 is nice. The issue, if I do get the B5 booklet, I would have just stuck with this one that I have, the TN for time blocking, because I have a lot of pages left in it. I wasn't gonna throw it out or anything. Oh, most of it's notes, but I have quite the amount. Maybe I don't. Oh wait, this is the middle of it. Oh my god, I'm stupid. So I have quite enough to say to last me for the rest of the semester. And I was like, I feel like I would have enough to carry me into next year. So I was like, maybe I could use this and this. But the issue, I don't want it in a separate book, because if it's in a separate book, it's just annoying to get to and from the book. So it's just like I can't, and I can't put my schoolwork with my life. I tried that with the Hobonichi cousin, and I got so overwhelmed seeing that I had school. I like that's another thing I learned about myself, seeing that I had school and then I had my life right here. It just overwhelmed my brain so much. So I know that having everything in one planner does not work for me when it comes to the monthly section. When it comes to the monthly, I need everything separated. I need school separated. I need life separated. I need work separated. I cannot have it all in one. Good thing for work, I don't need a monthly section, but if you get what I mean, I just cannot have everything there because everything being there, it just confuses my brain. And even if I had school here with my life, it just wouldn't fit. So I was like, oh, maybe I could get the B5 booklet because this B5 size is perfect. I have another B5, but it's not a planner, it's a notebook. I tried to like, okay, maybe I could draw it out myself, but I got exhausted after the second one. And which is weird because I do drop my monthlies in this booklet, which I can't show you, but I'm gonna get into this soon. Which is strange because I do drop my monthlies in that and I don't get exhausted, but I don't know if it was because it was the beef size. After the second one, I didn't even finish the second one. My hands started to hurt. I got so tired. I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I realized drawing that out does not work for me. I was even trying to draw everything out ahead of time because I know when the month comes, I want to just jump in it. But for that, it just was a no for me. So I ultimately decided to stick with the Sterling Ink A5 core because I was like, while I do want everything in one book, that's like the biggest thing I want, one book. And if I get the B5 booklet and then I stick with that, it's just annoying. You see, if the B5 booklet I had a cover for it and I could put like the TN time blocking in like the cover, that wouldn't bother me. But because I don't have a cover for it and I'm not gonna go buy a cover for a booklet, it's just annoying to me. So I was like, I could stick with the Sterling Ink A5 core. But what I could do, I don't think I haven't went back yet because I haven't had the time. I thought of it the day before yesterday and I wore it and it's just like, yeah. So like how this here is full. And do you see how empty these boxes are? So because this here is full and like right here is empty, I was like, maybe if I don't remember what class I was supposed to write here. Oh, business law. I could write, okay, business law. I could shade, write what I have to write, and just put a star next to it to let me know it's for the next day. If it can't fit this day, I'm gonna put it here, and I'm gonna put like, I don't know, a circle to let me know it's to go back. That's just what I'm thinking because I do have blank spaces. It's not like I don't have blank spaces. It's more so the fact that it just doesn't fit here. So I was like, so yeah, that's how I thought about getting the A5 core size. So yeah, I don't know if I talked too much on that, but that was just my thought process. It was a very long thought process. It took me months, okay? So I decided ultimately to stick with the Sterling Ink A5 core because I'm like, yeah, I don't have enough spaces on certain days, but when you really look at it, I have empty spaces here. So I could just put a circle, a moon, or whatever. Or what I was other think what else I was thinking is that what if all these boxes are full, and I put it here and I have to put a star there. It's just like, yeah. So for what else I was thinking is that if ever that happens to be the case, I could do like a shape for each day of the week. So for example, Monday could be a circle, Tuesday could be a star, Wednesday could be a triangle, Thursday could be a square, Friday could be a octagon. Saturday could be a freaking dot. I don't know. Sunday I could, I don't know, put a pentagon. I don't know. I could just put a rectangle, whatever. And then say I have this work here, I just put a rectangle there. I'm like, okay, this is due Sunday. If I'm like, why is that there? Either way, I'm like, okay, Sunday is rectangle, but when I look, it's full. So I was like, okay, so that's why it's there. This is actually due this day. So that's what else I was thinking could work. So that's why I ultimately decided to stick with the A5 Slim. So the A5 size, A5 core. Hopefully next year she comes out with a B5 core because the B5 core has the B5 Sterling Ink has a 24-hour timeline from 4 to 4 o'clock. So it's just like, that is perfect. So if she ever does decide to come out with the B5 core, I'm gonna be the first to get it. But ultimately, that's the first planner, the Sterling Ink A5 core. The next thing I was thinking about in a planner was, the next thing I was thinking about in a planner was my everyday carry, my EDC, my everyday carry plus planner, my actual planner. I probably should have drawn everything out, but we're gonna go in order then. So the next thing I was thinking about was my everyday carry. Currently, my everyday carry is my Sterling Ink N1. I had the Sterling Ink N2 size before, which I honestly loved, which is kind of weird because I hated the Hobonichi Weeks. I don't know what it was. Like, I know it has quotes at the bottom, but personally, the quotes didn't bother me because in my mind it's like out of sight, out of mind, and I wasn't looking at it, so it just didn't bother me. I felt like it added character to the page on some days. I don't know, it just didn't bother me. So I don't know what it was about the page. Maybe it was the color of the page, that yellow color. I don't know. It was just small. Okay, it was small. That's what bothered me, which is weird though because the Sterling Ink N2 is the same size. The N2 is somewhere over there. Is in my drawer, and I don't want to take it out. So this planner is the N1 size. I upgraded to the N1 during her sale. I think it was a May sale. I think it was May. I think this is a June subscription kit. So in June, I upgraded to this in June. So she had the sale was when? I don't remember what the sale was. It was a holiday in America. I think it's Memorial Day. I truly don't remember, but it was a sale. I think it's Memorial Day. I hope I'm not mistaken. But so I'm sorry if I'm breathing heavy. I don't know why I do that, but so the Sterling Ink planner that I'm using currently is the Sterling Ink N1 horizontal compact. And to sum it up, I love this planner. I was trying to practice like layouts, but all in all, to sum it up, I love this planner. Every time when same thing with the N2, because I was using the N2 before. I started using the N2 from I think March or April, because that's when I discovered Sterling Ink, when I was switching from Hobonichi. So with the N2, that's when I realized what I liked. So with how busy I get when school starts, I just need that horizontal layout. If I do not have that horizontal layout, it throws my mind into a loop. So how I've been doing it, I split the page in half, and I had like my brain just paused. I'm trying to find a week where I started to do it because I didn't stick to it. So what happens, I split the page in half, and then this side of the page I put stuff that happens that day that I can't move. So on the left side, it's just stuff that's going to happen no matter how I put it. It's going to happen. So for example, my Excel assignment opens, my SmartBook opens, my Excel is due, my quiz opens, and they're due on Sunday. I didn't write it because I did do it this day, but that's just how it works. So it can't be moved, so it stays there. And then over here, I use it to plan out my week. So if I plan to do laundry, for example, Monday I put laundry, call the dental office, I put that there, do my SmartBook, do 50% of my SmartBook, complete SmartBook, complete quiz. I just put it at the days I plan to do everything else. But how was I doing it before? Here, I was not crossing it out when I did things. For example, I cook, I just did plus, hang out with my friend. It got canceled, so I crossed it out. Like, call my dentist, I moved it to next week. I call my aunt, look for my HP charger. Like, I did it, but I was not liking how it looked because I realized that when it comes to crossing out the weeks, or crossing out what I did, it felt more functional, and that works for me. So I started to do that lately though, which is weird because I love crossing it out. It just makes me feel like I'm getting stuff done though. But lately I skipped this week. What week was this? I think I was on vacation. No, I just came back from vacation. I was exhausted. So lately though, I've been putting the X's, which is fine, but I don't know, when it comes to crossing it out, I like it better, but I've been putting X's, but that's not what we're talking about. So with this planner, I realized for my everyday carry, it has to be horizontal. So it has to be horizontal. I need a monthly section, and in the monthly section, I know I spelled it wrong. This is in the monthly section, I put like appointments, stuff like that, just regular stuff. So in the monthly, I would put my appointments horizontal. I plan out. The only part of this book that I could say didn't work for me was this page. As you can see, this page is blank. Most of the times I don't have anything to put on this page. I tried to do habit tracking or stuff like that. Like, this works. I didn't have a job this week. This, I don't think I had a job. I don't know if I had a job. I just didn't pick it up. I did have a job this week. I don't think I had a job. I don't know if I had a job. Oh wait, no. This was June. I didn't have a job. I was jobless. But still, I didn't pick up this planner at all. As you can see, I set it up for mood. I set up energy. I did a to-do list. I did meals. I wanted to do meals. I did this week, highlights. Ultimately, I barely go back and fill in this. Sometimes I don't even go back to this because once I plan out my week, it's just, I don't know. Doing that helps it just sticks in my brain. If I need to reference it, I'll quickly go and like, okay, what do I need to do today? Go through chapter 1, icebreaker, laundry, and then I'll reference my other planner and I'll write it down. So this page is just useless to me, honestly. It's always like I try to put it in, but most weeks it ends up being blank. Like this one, I filled it in. This one blank. It was written in, but it's blank. This one blank. This one blank. Blank. You know, like this one, I tried to go back and I just stopped. This one, this week, I came back from vacation, like I said. I just put this there because I was trying to see if I like the vinyl stickers, the premium matte stickers more, or the washi. I ultimately decided I like the premium matte more. But yeah, it's just blank. You see, I don't reference back this page, so I put like stickers there. That's a whole bunch of stickers, I know. This week I did the same. Last week I did the same. I just went back and crossed out the to-do list when I was doing my plan with me. So yeah, and then I felt like I don't want to use stickers anymore. So, but this week, ultimately, what we came up with is this week, this page is useless for me. So I was looking at other planners because as the main goal of my planners, it has to be from America because with the tariffs going on, I just didn't want to pay that extra duties and stuff like that. So another planner I was looking at was the Faded Chronicles planner. So ultimately decided I'm not gonna like stress myself like ordering from a planner from not in America, and most of my planners were Sterling ink anyway, so I don't know, I just didn't care. It just had to be in America. So I was looking at planners that had the weekly section, but it was just like here headlines and then here headlines, but all of them that I found, the weekends were stacked, and I don't like when the weekends are stacked. I don't like it because sometimes I try to leave my weekends pretty blank, but sometimes my weekends does get busy, and when it gets busy, I want it there. So for it to be like a stacked weekend, it's just like, oh, whatever. But this book now, before we get into like finish that, this book is my finance booklet. So it's just my finance stuff. I don't want to open it because it's very private, but let's just did I cover? I don't know, but so I drew out the spreads myself and everything, and I was like enjoying it. I love doing this, which is weird. I just hated doing it in the B6. So I've been doing this very loyally and I've been enjoying it. And this is like, yeah, but the whole point of like 2026 is I'm trying to minimize the amount of books I use. So I have this booklet I use for my finance and stuff, and with this planner the only other issue I had was this page is blank. The compact, I don't use it. I don't use it. I tried to use it, but this is me planning out my planner lineup. I'm telling you, I did not play about this lineup. I've been like since June, like getting in it. Okay, so back here is blank, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do with these pages? And once again, I don't want to have like, because over here is already gonna be most likely blank. So over here, I was like, it's gonna be blank too. It's like a waste to buy the compact. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, this booklet is technically, I could just draw it up in this planner. However, this is an A5 size booklet. So with the A5 size, I really love it for the size of my finance tracker. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I was like, this is the N1, and I really love the N1 size. I was thinking of downsizing to the B6 Slim, honestly, because it's because of this page, but I ultimately decided it's okay. Sometimes I like this page, sometimes I do like to use this page, sometimes I don't. So I'm like, it's better to have it than to not have it. So I decided ultimately I was gonna get the Sterling Ink B6 Slim, right? And I was just gonna use the blank pages. I'm just gonna take the L and leave the blank pages empty. But it hit me that I have this booklet that I am currently using, and there's no point in me using a booklet and a book. You know, it's too many books. I have too many books, and the whole point is to not have too many books. So I ultimately decided I could do my finance, what I'm doing in here, just do it in the back of here. But I like the A5 size, and I feel like anything smaller would be a detriment. So Sterling Ink came out with the A5 Slim. So I decided instead of getting the B6, the N1 size, like I originally would get, I would get an A5 Slim size, because an A5 Slim, I have the A5 Slim Sterling Ink notebook, so I did compare the sizes, and an A5 Slim is just a little bit wider, but I didn't want a full A5 size because this is a full A5 size, and for me, as an everyday carry, it's just too much. Even though it's like that, and the A5 Slim is just a little bit shorter. So the A5 Slim is like right here. That's literally it. So if I have the notebook, but I don't want to get up and get it. So the A5 Slim is like right here, probably a little bit smaller. There's not really much that difference. So I decided to get the A5 Slim, and I drew up the monthly. I was like, how am I going to know that I like what I do my finance with what I do in my finance in the A5 Slim? So I drew up the lines, the graph, and everything, and I liked how it fit. I did wish it was a little bit bigger, but you lose some, you win some, you lose some. So ultimately, for this planner, I also wanted to do, so since I wanted to do my finance in there, ultimately I decided to get this Sterling Ink A5 Slim. Horizontal A5 Slim. Compact. This one's a mouthful, huh? So I decided ultimately I'm going to get the Sterling Ink A5 Slim Compact, which is not much of a difference from this. And I use this planner. This is my holy grail. If all other planners fall off, this is the one I will always stick to when I'm overwhelmed, when I'm busy. I need this planner in my life. This is the planner. It's just like, I can't do without. And I I thought about getting another planner from another company with like the N1 whatever, but when I sat down and I thought about it, the main reason I love Sterling Ink so much is because the planner is so minimalist. I have the freedom to do whatever I want with the planner, and it doesn't restrain me or constrict me to like, oh, boxes here, boxes there, boxes here. The Sterling Ink allows me the freedom. Like, I could turn this page into a whole nother planner. That's why. And I get bored easily. So with the horizontal layout, you do get bored easily. So for me, that's like the idea of it. So I was just like, we're gonna stick with the Sterling Ink because like I've never fallen off my Sterling ink planner because I have the freedom to change it up how I want. So Sterling ink it is. So that's how I thought about my everyday carry planner. So to recap, because I know I'm like talking your ear off. For school, I decided on the Sterling ink A5 core, and then for my everyday carry, the Sterling ink horizontal A5 slim. And yeah, oh sorry. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I had to get up for a second. So my mouth was going really dry because I was talking so much. So the next one we're gonna do is I needed a functional planner. We're gonna do these two together, and as well as I need a functional planner as well as a journal. So with the journal, I needed monthly pages. With the functional, I needed weekly pages. With the journal, I needed blank pages in the back. Oopsie, I used the wrong color. However, it was quite easy for me to know what journal I was getting. I'm in the Sterling ink currently. I have the A5, and I wanted the A5 slim size. She came out with the A5 slim. The only thing, which I have it right now, but the A5 slim comes in the only color I despise. Like, this color made me truly realize how much I despise the caramel. But the A5 Verto Slim came in it, and I was like, but I can't complain because there was no A5 Slim before. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna suck it up and I'm gonna use it because what can you do? Not buy it? I wanted the A5 Slim. So for me, it was quite easily. I'm just gonna swap the colors. For me, it was quite easy. I was gonna get the Sterling ink A5 Slim. That was just the thought process, and I was like, oh my god, for the functional I could just put it here, and that was like the thought process. I'm pretty sure I have it in this book somewhere as well. January? Yeah, it was this book, right? No. Was it not this book? I'm sorry. It was this book. So this was like one of my first breakdowns. So, to show you. For my functional, I wanted a vertical. I was okay with the A5 Slim or a B6. I did not want an A5 size. The A5 was just way too big. And then there's just not much to it. The A5 was way too big. The A5 Slim or B6 size. The B6 size I'm loving. The A5, with the A5, as filled out as much filled out as this does look, with the A5 I was struggling to fill in the blank spaces. Like this this area right here, like this week, it does get annoying to have to fill it out because when I journal in the back it does feel repetitive. So like this week is just not useful, and then I was doing this week in this planner as well to help keep up with some space. So having this week section here was just useless to me. I don't know if you could see it. It was just useless to me. So right there is the empty space. I forced myself to fill it in. Here I used some stickers to, like, you know, just offset the empty spaces. I'm trying to find another example. I didn't go back and fill this in, but here's another example. Empty. Like, you know, this is just all blank right here. Here, all blank. I don't like how blank it is. This is how I've been using it, and I've been loving it, but it's just very blank. This is different, but it's just very blank, and I don't like how blank it is. So for me, it was just too much blank space. So I was like, I had this B6 planner I had impulsively bought for LSAT prep, but I didn't like how small it was for my LSAT prep, so I didn't use it. So this is just me playing around with stickers. Let's go through this. Do you see how nice this is? It's like, I still feel like this is too much space in this weekly section, but this is a B6 size, and it's too much space, but it's like a good enough space. I could be like, I could suck it up. This is the day I left work at 3:30 a.m. I could suck it up, you know? It's like an okay space for me. So for my functional, I was like, it has to be B6 or A5 slim. It cannot be an A5. A5 was too big. So the planners I thought about was Paper Test Design. I was okay to pay tariffs if it was like, you know, it was just like, if it was like, I really like this planner and it's unavoidable, I will pay the tariffs. So I thought about the Paper Test Designs A5 Slim, but I had to pay tariffs. Twines and Paper, tariffs. The Twines and Paper, okay, let's start with the Paper Test Design. The Paper Test Design planner is it's the manager's notebook, but I haven't seen much people do plan with me's in that, and I feel like I've only seen like the unboxings, and I like to watch plan with me videos because it gives me ideas of how I could use the planner, and because I don't see too many people using it, it's just I just didn't want to get it because it was just that crossed off the Paper Test Design for me. Then Twines and Paper, the controversy with what I heard about last year. I mean, everyone deserves a second chance. I don't know what exactly went down, but from what I heard about, people still aren't happy that this person is back. But I really love the layout of the Twines and Paper, but I'm not going to take the risk in not getting my money back. Plus, I have to pay tariffs on top of that. You're crazy. Then the Forest Planner is from Canada, but it's undated. I was still going to buy it, but I don't want to pay tariffs. So the next planners was a Sterling Ink A5 Slim, which I was like, yeah. You know, I was like, you know, that was my baby anyway, because I wanted an A5 Slim. I was one of those people in the Sterling Ink comment section be like, please come out with the A5 Slim. Please come out with the A5 Slim. So the Sterling Ink A5 Slim was one of them. The next one was a Faded Chronicles. I really wanted to get a Faded Chronicles. Tariffs, however, and when I thought about it, the pages are too layout. If you're one of those people that like to jump straight into your planner, it's already like preset for you. Faded Chronicles would be perfect for you because it was the horizontal and the vertical layout. I was like, maybe I could get the Faded Chronicles B6 size, but it's just like, when I thought about it, it's just like, it would be a waste for me to get the Faded Chronicles because not only the tariffs, but it was just like, yeah. So ultimately, I landed on the A5 Slim Boogier as my functional because I just need the vertical sections, right? So ignore most of this stuff is not correct. So these are just like my thoughts, like what I like, stuff like that. So then my journal, the back has to be undated. I was okay with the A5 Slim or A5 size, but the B6 made me realize it is way too small to journal in. I had the A5 Slim notebook that I was journaling in, so I was like, oh, perfect, and I need the monthly section, so I was like, oh, why don't I just do this and this together? However, that was the plan, right? So get the journal and then just put my functional in the journal. However, I was doing some more thinking, right? This was just a full breakdown of how I would use each section, but this, like I said, is incorrect because I changed around I didn't change around the entire thing. I just upgraded it, if that's how we're gonna put it. But what month was I writing in? February? Okay, so with the functional, with the journal, I was like, I really want the A5 Slim, right? However, I was missing a few things that I had done in the beginning of the year and in the middle of the year that I enjoyed in a planner. Some of the things I was missing was, I had gotten this from Whoops, I Did It Again, but it's just to write what I did each day, and I completely enjoyed doing this. However, I found it annoying to do the dates myself. I wish it was dated, which is kind of crazy. So I wished it was dated. So I was like, ugh, it's not dated. So I had to go in and date it myself, and it was annoying me. But I absolutely loved doing this, so I would do this. If it was dated, it would work, but it's not dated, so I had to date it myself. And because it's not dated, I don't keep up with it. But I love doing it because I realized when I did my, hold on, I'm trying to get a planner here. When I did my to-do list, I crossed off what I did. I always found that I wanted somewhere I could write what I did, like write what else I did for that day, because this is just my to-do list. Sometimes I do more than my to-do list, so it's like, oh, I crossed it off. So I was just like, oh, how annoying, because sometimes I don't complete everything on my to-do list. It's just annoying to write, so I was like, how annoying. I wanted that space where I could write what I did for my to-do list. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So one of my first thought was to get a Hobonichi A6, but I'm like, that's just, that's like adding. So here was the plan: to get a Hobonichi A6 to write what I did for the day. The monthlies I was just gonna leave blank, but that was the plan, right? To just get a Hobonichi A6 size. And then I had a new layout I wanted to try that I saw Sterling Ink do, that I've been really thinking. I thought about this for a few weeks, and I was like, why don't I give it a try? I gave it a try last week, and I've been loving it. So I had tried it here, but I didn't like the markers I was using. It was edging my teeth when I highlighted. But it's just to see where my time was going. It's not time blocking per se, but it's just to see where my time was going. So I would do, like, just to see. So here I was at school, here was personal times, and here was house stuff. Here I was at work, here is house stuff. was personal times, and here is school. Here, today is Sunday, so as you can see, it's still not filled out. But I was cleaning the bathroom. However, I put some things in the shower so the shower could, like, clean itself. Not clean itself, but I put like bleach, stuff like that. Just like, so when you go in to clean, it's easier to clean. So yeah, I did baking soda and was it vinegar? I don't remember, but it was one of those stuff I saw online, so I wanted to try that method of cleaning the shower. So yeah, and so here is just personal time here. I am going to go back. I did not write in what I did per se because I'm going to have a color coding system. And I was like, I do like that. So I was going to get the Daily Planner by Sterling Ink. So right there, I added 2 more planners to my lineup. And I'm like, wait a minute, girl. Isn't the main point to minimize the amount of planners you use? As much as I love everything separated, it was just ridiculous. With when I added those 2 planners to my lineup, it carried me to 6 planners. I'm like, you're not gonna keep up with 6 planners. 6 planners is ridiculous. So I clocked myself the moment I realized. I'm like, so the plan was to get a Hobonichi Cousin A6 and then get the Sterling Ink N1 to try this. And I've been doing this, and honestly, I love it. And then I was like, I could just write what I did that day. And it was, I felt at peace. I loved it. So I was like, where can I do that? And then it hit me. So the functional, I needed the weekly pages, and I was like, I could add my to-do list in the daily pages. And then I could also add my time blocking. So I was like, what planner would offer me that? So the planners I thought about for this was a Hobonichi Cousin. I'm going to write Hobo Cousin. I thought about a Hobonichi Cousin. That was literally the only planner I could have thought about that had that had a layout that I liked. Like I said, the quotes at the bottom never bothered me. They were out of my sight, so they, like, even though I was looking at them, I didn't see them. I don't know what it was. I want to say out of sight, out of mind, but it wasn't. It was in my sight, so out of mind, out of sight, because it wasn't in my mind, so it was out of my sight. I wasn't thinking about it, so I didn't see it, even though it was like right there. It never bothered me. So I was thinking about Hobo Cousin, and then Sterling Ink dropped their A5 complete, which is the same thing. Oh, I'm not talking about as a Hobonichi cousin, but it's just like the same thing. It has the weekly and it has the daily pages where I could do this. So these are like the daily pages. So it had the daily pages. So I was thinking about the A5 sterling. The issue with the Hobonichi cousin, I feel like an A5 would be too big of a size. So I feel like an A5 would be too big of a size. So I was like, I kept looking at the sterling company. I was like, maybe. And I was like, And I was like, I could also do a hemlock and oak because I loved my hemlock and oak. I absolutely adored it. And there, right now, I think you could buy it from the US and you still don't have tariffs on it. But you know, it's not going to be always guaranteed for the future. But I know you could buy it right now and you're not going to have tariffs on it because the law was just passed a few days ago with the tariffs and stuff. So yeah, so the hemlock and oak was not going to have tariffs on it. So yeah, the hemlock and oak was another one I thought about. So the hemlock and oak, because the hemlock and oak, they had a new planner called the daily and weekly pages. For me though, I went through the planner and I rated each planner. So this may seem very strange or meticulous, but I know myself, and if something bothers me, it's gonna get dropped. And the moment I drop it, I'm not gonna pick it up unless my brain tells me like a few months later, give it another try again. Because that's what I'm doing right now with the taken out. My brain's like, give it another try again. But the whole point of next year is to have a lineup that I know works for me. And I don't want to just jump into 2026 trying all these lineups that I planned out. I'm trying all of them right now. So when 2026 comes, it's like it's like second nature to me. So I was like, what can I do? I was like, So the hemlock and oak weekly daily pages. What didn't I like about it? Well, for starters, the hemlock and oak, it has these pages in between after each month with a monthly overview. When I had the hemlock and oak, I never used those pages. So for me right there, that lost the point because to me, that's just useless. The weekly and daily pages, I would prefer my daily pages blank and have the timeline. The hemlock and oak had the timeline I was looking for. Perfect. But it just, the hemlock and oak had the timeline I was looking for. It had the other stuff at the top, like priorities. And then it had something else. But then when you went to the weekly section, it had the same shit, priorities. I'm like, you could have gotten rid of the weekly one then. Or, I don't know. I think priorities and focus. I don't remember. But I'm like, it just felt very repetitive. And for me, that lost the point there as well. But I love the hemlock and oak timeline. But wait, I think it ended at 10 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. But there was something else about that planner that I just was like, yeah, it's not going to work for me. And I thought about the reasons. And so it crossed it off. I can't remember what else it was. But I think it ended at 10 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. But if I'm not mistaken, it ended at 10 o'clock. And that's one thing that turned me off. I would have preferred like it go to 12 or 24 hours. Then the Hobonichi cousin. Like I said, I love the Hobonichi cousin. It was just my baby. But it didn't work for me when it came to journaling and planning. So I was like, maybe I could get a Hobonichi cousin, to just throw in there for a little fun, jazziness. So today, I think today's the Hobonichi pre-order, if I'm not mistaken. Today's Sunday. Yeah, today's the starting Hobonichi pre-order. So I was like, maybe I could get a Hobonichi cousin, so that way I have, because technically I have 1, 2, 3 Sterling ink planners. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I could get a Hobonichi cousin just so, because I'm like, I have 3 Sterling ink planners. I don't want to have all Sterling ink, Sorry, it was bothering me that I didn't write full year. So I was like, Hobonichi. But then I looked at the A5 Complete, and it had a feature that I loved that none of these other planners have. It went in order. So that's another reason why I like the hemlock and oak, because it went in order. So you had January, then you had the weeklies, then the dailies, then it repeats, then February, weekly, dailies, repeats. And I was like, oh my god, it has something new that I want to try that I had loved about the hemlock and oak. So for me, ultimately, I decided on the Sterling ink. I'm just gonna write SI complete planner. However, like I said, I did not want an A5 size. Oh my god, yes. That's what turned me off from the Hobonichi Cousin and the Hemlock and Oak. Honestly, I wish the Hemlock and Oak did a vertical, because for the vertical section, it has exactly, I mean, the horizontal planner has exactly what I was looking for, because it was the horizontal on 2 pages. Was it? Oh no, someone made their own planner with the Hemlock and Oak booklet. Never mind then. But this is another thing with these 2 planners that did not work for me. I did not want an A5 size. A5 was too big for what I was planning to do, and I did not want too much empty space, because like I said, I know I could use stickers to fill it in, but my plan is to tone down the amount of stickers that I am buying, because the amount I spend on stickers, since I've been like doing my tracking with my money, the amount I spend on stickers is ridiculous, and I'm just like, you're ridiculous. You're doing way too much. So I clocked myself on that too. So I'm trying to tone down the amount of stickers I am buying, because when I have them there, they're just sitting there until, because technically there's 52 weeks in a year. And when I look at it, I'm using the same sheet for all my planners, across all my planners for the same week. So that way I could, like, it's easy for me to reference the weeks. And I'm just like, I only need, if I really want to think about it like that, I only need 50 shoe sheets. And when I look, I'm buying 20 from this company, 20 from this company, 20 from that company, 30, well, 30 is a drag, but 50 from there. I'm like, why do I need so many stickers? And I already have like a shit ton load, so they're all just stacking up. And it was leading me to have anxiety. So I'm toning down the amount of stickers I use. So I was like, the Sterling Ink Complete Planner. And technically, I've been using the B6 size for the weekly pages, and I have been enjoying it. This was me trying to practice the layout. It's not that I didn't pick it up. I was trying to practice it. That's why I had just trains. I was practicing a layout. So I was like, oh my god, I'm going to stick with the B6 size, because the plan is to do, so I'm going to show you how, because you're probably confused with the journal and stuff. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to go back and like show you how each one is going to be used. So in the B6 size, so yeah, I don't know how long this video is, probably an hour by now. 56 minutes. 56 minutes. I showed you. So this is my entire planner lineup. There was one more planner that I really wanted to try, which was the Aura Studio planner, but it didn't have a function. I just wanted to use it and throw a bunch of stickers on it and write 1 word a day, which was useless. And I really want that planner, but the urge in me is like going away, because I did like pros and cons, and it's just like, the planner is gonna fall off, so why buy it? So I know it's like, I know myself. Once I stop one time, it's not gonna work. So this is like the final thing. So to summarize, I ended up with 4 planners in my lineup that had everything I wanted and everything I loved. So my school planner, I need a monthly and a time block. It couldn't be smaller than a B5. I mean, it couldn't be smaller. It had to be A5 or B5. I decided on the Sterling Ink A5 core. My everyday carry / my planner is going to be my Sterling Ink horizontal A5 slim. Compact, because I decided to go with, I was okay with these being small, but I had to go a size up if I was going to add my finance to it, which just minimizes my book. And then my journal, I just needed the monthly section, the blank pages. And then I was like, I could just buy a blank A5 slim notebook and draw it out myself, but then that would be a waste for me, because I'm already drawing here and I'm already drawing here. That is too much for me. I know myself. That is too much going on for me. So I ultimately decided on the Sterling Ink vertical full year. And then, I'm sorry, I'm like scratching my eyes. Then my functional planner, which is just going to help me with how it just carries me throughout the week, is my weekly, is the Sterling Ink Complete B6 size. And you're probably like thinking, oh my god, girl, isn't that repetitive? No, because with my everyday carry, it's like a plan ahead. I plan ahead with this planner. So it's like 2 weeks ahead, or maybe like the whole month. I don't freaking know. But I was thinking of maybe just setting up the whole, when the month comes, I set up all the weeks of the month in this planner. Because I realized when I get busy, I don't want to pick up the planner if it's not set up. So I was like, at the start of the month, I was thinking maybe I could just have it set up and I could just jump in it, do what I need to do. Like, okay, for example, where is my planner? Okay, so for example, I did not do what I used to do it 2 weeks ahead, but I stopped when I came back from vacation. I was just behind. So like how I set up this page, I should actually go in and set up this page and probably the rest of September as well. And for me, that would be nice, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, I don't feel like it right now. Maybe when I'm like planning for September, which I already did, but I really love how this September looks. Oh, this is such a beautiful one, but this is supposed to be for school, but it was too small, but I'm sidetracking. So that's how I landed on this size, the A5 Slim, my journal, my Sterling Ink A5 full year, and then my functional Sterling Ink A5 B6 complete. And you're probably thinking, okay, but the monthly section is blank here and the weekly section is blank here, but no, it's not. Relax. It is not blank. I have a plan. Okay, and these are all things I have been doing throughout the year that I loved. I found aspects of each planner that I had bought and I loved, and I'm going to throw it back in here. So, for these, everything is being utilized. The weekly, the monthly, and the back pages. The monthly, the weekly, there's not going to be any back pages. So, these are utilized. The only thing here I didn't clarify was the journal and the functional and the complete. So, I'm going to write out both of them. So we could have an idea. So we have the Sterling Ink, and then we have the okay, so then you have, let's do it in another color. So then you have the monthly, MONT, HLI, you have the weekly, then you have the daily, you have the monthly, you have the weekly, and then you have the back pages. Okay, so if you think my handwriting is ugly, piss off, okay? I know it's ugly. Actually, I don't know that it's ugly. I have handwriting blindness. I think my handwriting is pretty. On some days, you caught me on a bad day, okay? I have very pretty handwriting, just not today, because I'm tired, okay? Okay, let's move on. Let's drop the topic, shall we? Let me stop. So, the daily pages of the complete, I planned to do the time blocking that I am doing right now. And the beauty is, if I do buy these planners and I plan to finish out what I'm doing and all these lineups and all these freaking planners that I have, you know, and all these freaking planners, oh, and the other one right here. It's just like, this is ridiculous to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 books. I brought it down to 4. And I'm proud of myself. You're like, 4? That's still a lot. I didn't ask you, Felicia. So, time blocking and what I did. It's not really time blocking. It's more like, where did my time go? The weekly, my weekly to-dos. So with the weekly to-dos, I normally set up the page, and then when the day starts, I just write my to-do list for the day. Some days I don't have a to-do list. I just leave that day blank. But then I split the page in half, just like how I showed you with B6. I'm just going to show you in this planner. I just split it in half, do what I have to do, cut it. You know, if I don't have anything to do that day, it's going to be blank. But other than that, like Tuesday, was blank. Monday was blank. I didn't have anything to do. Saturday, I only have one thing to do. So it was just like, I just leave it blank. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, that's like the plan. So I was like, yeah, the weekly to-dos. Then for the back pages, I was going to journal. Okay, so this would leave here and here, right? So this was a new, well, we're going to leave this one for last. We're going to do this one last. So since the weekly to-do section, the weekly to-dos, I love this. But there was something else I did in my weekly that I freaking loved and I have missed because I was using my weeklies to do, since I'm using my weeklies to do a weekly to-do, this was something I freaking missed. Do you see how all these stickers are just lined out just for fun? So this was my vacation one because I haven't done another one since I came back. I haven't done like another spread since I came back, but I'm gonna show you like how it's done. So at the end of the day in my journal, what I would do is I would write everything that happened that day. So like here, I was in Santorini. I was supposed to go volcano hiking and I did the Taste of Santorini. Well, the volcano hiking, it got canceled. So I'd write got canceled, or to be honest, at the end of the day, if the volcano hiking got canceled, I wouldn't have written volcano hiking. I would have written what we did that day. What did we do? We did the wine tasting. So instead of doing volcano hiking, I would have read like we went wine tasting, and then I would say volcano hiking got canceled. The wine tasting was a waste of money. I hated it. Blank. Taste of Santorini, because of volcano hiking, because Taste of Santorini was the actual one that got canceled. So we had to change our whole thing. And then we wanted to put it up here, but it got full. So, for example, what did we do after? We went to the beach. I went to the beach and my hair freaking got wet. And my hair got so stiff and my nails started to strip because the beaches in Santorini is so salty. It is so salty. So I was like, oh my god, the beach is so salty. That's just how I did it. It was just like a fun little memory thing. When I looked, it had a bunch of fun stickers and stuff like that. And I have a lot of stickers. So for me, it is easy for me to go. I don't need to buy stickers to do this. I just slap a bunch of stickers on the page and have my fun with it. Like I said, I did throw out the planner that I normally do it in. So I can't really reference it to show you, but that's how I'm gonna do it. My weekly pages is my daily summary, because you're probably like, oh my god, isn't that repetitive? No, it's not, because I don't journal every day. Okay, I only journal when I feel like it. So this I always do this is my holy grail, and because I haven't been doing this, I've missed this so much. Okay, then we're gonna go up here. This I used to do in this planner, my journal. I used to do it in my journal. What I'm gonna do here in my monthly section, I always write the most major thing that happened that day. For example, I did laundry. For example, today, I don't believe I did it in any of these planners. No, I didn't. I did it for like 2 days, but then I went back to I was playing around with my other sizes. So I write like the most major thing that happened that day. So over here, I also have, I said today, I am starting my no spend on stickers until a sale, or until my debt is paid off. My debt is just basically my school stuff is paid off, and I've been paying it. So I'm getting there. It's probably next year I'm going to be done, because I started the school this semester again and they're charging me for more stuff. So, but anyways, I had a good cry today. LOL. I can see why people need a smoke break. I'm like, I really don't remember what happened. If it's not, and I did write about it, I could easily reference. What day is that? Just a second. I don't think I journaled on the second. Oh my god. Wait, so much happened this day. Okay, my school was stressing me out. That's what happened. But that was a bad example. But for example, steamed and washed my hair. Okay, I steam and wash my hair this week. Let's say next week comes. I need to steam and wash my hair again. I was like, when was the last time I steamed and washed my hair? Alright, it was Monday. Normally I try to keep it to one day, but sometimes life gets the best of me. So I was like, for example, what if I did it this day? I'm like, okay, what is that? I don't know where that came from. So I was like, Monday. So I was like, okay, Monday I steam wash my hair. I'm like, did I wash it last week or did I wash it the 9th? I'm like, no. I reference it, I did it Monday. Like, example, I did laundry this day. When I go to do laundry again, it's just easy for me to reference. So I just put the most important things that happened that day that I did or whatnot. Okay, and that's just what works for me. I just do what's like the most important thing of the day, or it's just like my little summary of the day, highlight of the day, whatnot, and yeah, that's how I did it. So my monthly is gonna be the most important thing of the day. Then for this monthly, I truly didn't have anything I needed to do with it, but I've been seeing people do this, and you can't really fall off of this unless I don't know, but they did a photo a day. Honestly, it's easy. Just take a picture a day, and at the end of the month or at the end of the week, whenever I feel like it, I just go back, print them out, because I have my HP Sprocket, and I just stick them in per day. There's not much stress to it, and if I don't keep up with it, it's not the end of the world. So that's how I plan to use these 2 planners. But yeah, like I said, this is my final layout, my final planner lineup, and I am very happy with it. I also had the flash is on. Maybe I could turn it off. Ooh, it is pretty dark in here. But I also had like the color theory of stuff like this. I have to redo this one because I changed my mind. I'm like is it in the camera? I'm like a gold edge person, so I'm gonna erase the gold edge. Oh, before I forget, the final system, it's not a planner, it's just whatever. It's a traveler's system where it's just my ephemeras and junk. I still am holding on to my vacation stuff, my concert stuff. I'm gonna start it before the year ends because I have that, my traveler's notebook, and I have it, so I'm just gonna stick my junk in there. That sounded very wrong. I'm just gonna stick my junks and ephemeras in there and stick it in. It's not a planner, it's gonna be there. But yeah, this is just everything I want from my Sterling Ink order. I decided to stick with Sterling Ink because it's not really playing it safe, but it's just one of the companies that I've tried, because I've tried a lot of companies, like I said, this year, and I just wanted to make sure I go in next year and I do it right. And I am not holding myself to these planners. The only planner I'm holding myself to is my everyday carry and my schoolwork. It is okay for me not to pick this up a week. It is okay for me, like, because because of how I've been, like, to me, when I skip a page anymore, like how I was doing it in my Hobonichi, it doesn't bother me anymore because of how I've been, like, doing my lineup. Like, as you can see, I skipped a page here, and it was just like, I skipped the page. There was like, there's nothing I could do about it. And I did think about maybe I could go back into a dated journal, but I do like having, because some days I feel like writing a little, some days I feel like writing 10 pages. So I do like the freedom of having the blank pages. So ultimately I decided to stick with the blank pages instead of the dated. But having like the blank pages don't bother me anymore. So for me, it is okay if I don't pick this up a week. It is okay if I don't do like this a week, but I do know I'm gonna do it because I love the to-do list. I've been doing it religiously every week. So it's just like, and this is not gonna be picked up every single day. It's just for me to reference when I have school. It's just an easy way for me to reference it, and it doesn't bother me. So I find this lineup is a lineup that I've been using and I've been loving. The only new thing I'm adding in is the time blocking. And like I showed you in my take a note, I started to do the time blocking, so when the year comes, it doesn't feel like, oh my god, this is too much. I want my body to feel like I'm accustomed to it, because I already started doing it in the planners I have. So the last few months, like I said, I have been just trying to make the planners I have work for me. Just pick what I don't like, what I don't like, and I nitpicked, and this is what I came up with. And I am very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. And then I have the month, because I already know what I'm doing with the monthly, weeklies, and dailies of these things. I don't need to, but for this one, I had to sit down and I had to think about, because I'm like, if I'm going to introduce this B6 complete in my lineup, like, what am I going to do with it? Is this something that, is this something that I think could stay with me? So I'm trying to like get myself accustomed to doing the time blocking and writing again what I did for the day and stuff like that. The photo day, I started taking pictures every day of just anything I see, so that way in 26 I'm like, oh damn, I forgot to take a picture this day, so I'm not printing them out, but I've been taking a picture. And if something interesting I see or something, sometimes it's a screenshot. It doesn't have to be a picture per se. It has to be a screenshot of something, And that's how I've been like thinking about my 2026 lineup, And so Sterling Ink is releasing this Friday, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, that's my planner lineup. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I didn't chat your ears off. I'm very sorry about that. But this was something that I'm very proud of myself for, and yeah, I'm very happy with. And thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and bye everyone.